President Muhammadu Buhari tasked youth to take ownership of next-level enterprise by supporting efforts at evolving generational equity. Few days to commencement of Unified Tertiary Matriculation Examination, prospective candidates rush for National Identity Card registration. Plus, Air Task Force of Operation Lafia Dole neutralizes ISWAP fighters in Borno. Well, thank you very much for joining us. President Muhammadu Buhari is tasking the nation's youth as future leaders to take ownership of the next level enterprise by jealously guarding as well as guiding and supporting genuine efforts at building a sustainable future for all. Granting audience to the APC national and zonal youth leaders and representatives from the 6 geopolitical zones, the president urged them to brace up for leadership as he sustains efforts at stabilizing the country and fighting corruption. State House correspondent Damusambo has details.
I assure you that if anybody seems to be spared, it's because we have been caught up with them, and eventually we shall.
President Muhammadu Buhari told the youth leaders that having sworn by the Constitution to defend the interests of the country, he will remain firm, focused and relentless in delivering results. He said efforts at genuinely securing the country, stimulating the economy and recovering the nation's assets from those who abuse trust will be intensified. The president, however, said with certainty that he and the present crop of leaders will leave the stage someday.
Whether we like it or not, we are going to hand it over to you. It's up to you to stabilize this country. God has given us a large country, fertile, with a lot of resources. All we need is to ensure that whoever gets leadership at whatever level is held accountable. And that is your duty. You don't spare anybody across ethnicity, religion, or whatever. People who are in charge of resources at whatever level must be held accountable.
President Buhari told the younger generation to beware that some interest groups will come up with divisive tendencies, advising them to at all times keep a broader view of the country as one entity and continuously de-emphasize ethnic and religious backgrounds in nation building.
We fought a civil war. At least 2 million Nigerians were killed. And I don't think anybody should joke with our firmness as one country.
The national youth leader of the APC, Sadiq Shuaibu Abubakar, congratulated President Buhari for winning the presidential election in 2019, assuring him that the youth will continue to support his policies and vision of greatness for the country.
In recognition of your passion to carry the youth along in our administration, we wish to seek inclusion of the young people of our party at all levels in government. These are the people who believe in your vision. These are the people who believe they can get things done for you, and on behalf of the party, we move forward.
The youth leaders acknowledge the giant strides recorded by the Buhari administration so far in the fight against insecurity, corruption and smuggling, economic diversification, as well as strict adherence to the rule of law. From the State House, Adamu Sambu, NTA News.
And now to security, where following attacks orchestrated by unknown gunmen in which 13 people lost their lives in Plateau State, Governor Simon Lalong says the state is taking measures to further tighten security. The governor, who briefed the president on the incident and actions taken so far, says all is now calm after he's appealed to the people affected, and they are now going about their businesses without fear of any form of attack.
Look forward to looking at ways of addressing these issues once and for all. Two, we in the north we've also agreed to key into the community policing. We agreed to key into the community policing, and at the level of the committee, they are already very far, and each state is already putting herself very well in respect to the community policing.
State House correspondent Judy Onifade reports that the governor commended the police and the youth of the area for timely intervention and understanding. And now to diplomatic relations, where Nigeria will continue to stand with the Islamic Republic of Mauritania and collaborate more effectively with the North African nation in critical economic sectors for the benefit of their people. President Muhammadu Buhari stated these while granting audience to the outgoing ambassador of Mauritania to Nigeria, Ba Abdar Rahmani. Stella's correspondent, Adamu Sambo reports.
Going down memory lane at an audience with Ambassador Ba Abdurrahman, President Muhammadu Buhari said the affinity between Nigeria and Mauritania under his watch dates back to when he was a military leader in the 80s. The president said he led Nigeria to stand with Mauritania then and even now. The relationship between the two countries, he said, is quite historic. President Buhari thanked the ambassador, who spent almost 7 years in the country, for engendering a good relationship between Nigeria and Mauritania. He urged the envoy to ensure that his country and Nigeria always present a united front to the international community. Ambassador Ba Abdurrahman said he enjoyed his tour of duty in Nigeria and would always remain an ambassador of goodwill. He said he loves Nigeria and indeed Nigerians, and is therefore returning home with good memories. Mauritania, which gained independence in 1960, is the 11th largest sovereign state in Africa and one of the newest oil producers. From the State House, Adamu Sambo, NTA News.
And now, as prospective UTME candidates continue to enroll to have National Identification Number, which is a yardstick for the 2020 Unified Tertiary Matriculation Examination, the upsurge at the headquarters of the National Identity Management Commission is gradually reducing to further speed up the process. The Commission has added additional enrollment centers, each across the country. General Manager Legal, Regulatory and Compliance Hadiza Jagabana said this in an interview with Olayinka Ojo.
We brought in additional equipment to make sure that we expand, create additional locations within the headquarters and also the state office and most of our state offices too. So they are expanding to make sure that we do the mop-up.
She also said that JAMB and NIMC have put in place a mapping system that will ensure prospective candidates are enrolled, as they have also added the weekend for prospective candidates to be enrolled into NIN.
We have done the mapping, and the plan from JAMB is that any person that has not registered that goes to the NACBT, they will transport them and drive them to our own locations near the CBT. We have marked those locations. They will be attended to. The turnout is still high in most of the states, so we have agreed to go for Saturday enrollment. Most of the states are opening up tomorrow from 7 a.m. and we are only enrolling in JAMB candidate exclusively. We are not attending to any other person but JAMB candidates. And then in Lagos, in addition to Saturday, Lagos are planning to open on Sunday. So from now till Sunday, Lagos offices will be open.
And for more on the National Identity Management Commission registration exercise from other parts of the country, let's join Linda Okorigwe.
Prospective applicants for the 2020 Unified Tertiary Matriculation Examination in Benue State are calling for the establishment of more registration centers to ease the process of obtaining the National Identification Number for the applicant. Elias have reports that the applicants described the current process as cumbersome and time-consuming. Lokoja, Kogi State, Deborah Eyola Sama reports that the attendance rush and cluster of JAMB candidates being registered is gradually being contained as the authorities appeal for more support. From Yonagwa, Bayelsa State, Aya Praise reports that the situation is a mixed reactions, while in Abakaliki, the Ebonyi State capital, Chika Okore reports that the exercise is going smoothly. In Akure, Ondo State, Abiola reports that applicants complained about the delay in processing the cards. Maureen Leo Jom in Calabar, Cross River State, reports that the hardship faced by candidates is as a result of inadequate equipment to fast-track the process. In Lafia, Nasarawa State, Ben Mitu reports that the state is witnessing large turnout of prospective candidates for the national identification number, while in Ogun State, Lekon Agbode reports that lack of equipment, manpower and increase in number of applicants are some of the issues faced at the various centers. Linda Okorie Igwe, NTA News.
Now we're joined by the General Manager Operations and Corporate Communication National Identity Management Commission, Abdul Hamid Umar, to explain why there is this mad rush. Mr. Umar, you're welcome to NTA International.
Good evening, viewers.
Now, you just saw the reports we had now, and looking at the registration process, it appears chaotic. What is your take on this? Does it mean that there was no enough preparation?
Yes, unfortunately, it's chaotic, but it's in our usual way in Nigeria, where we wait until the 11th hour before people start trooping in. But let me use this opportunity to appreciate the collaboration going on now with the JAM, the body of JAM. Before JAM, NIMC is collaborating effectively with the Nigerian Immigration Services, all essentially towards ensuring that the token that is a byproduct of what we're doing at NIMC, which is the National Identification Number, is used as the major and main reliable identifier that cannot be duplicated or faked. It's on that strength that the JAM Registrar General, under his leadership, midwifery collaborative activity with NIMC, essentially ensuring that students that will be writing the 2020 JAM and direct entry examination will need to register and have their name, just so that he is sure there are no fake or imposters writing the examination. So this upsurge we're seeing is essentially a product of insistence by JAM that applicants must have NIN. Are we prepared? The answer is yes. We envisage that there will be upsurge because our enrollment centers have been open since the collaboration started, but you can, like in your report, Nigerians will wait to the 11th hour. You are aware the registration commences on the 13th, and that's why people are coming. So what we are doing essentially is to improve and increase the number of enrollment units in each enrollment center. We have design shifts that was not there before to ensure we cater for the upsurge. We are going to also open our enrollment centers Saturday in some locations and Sunday in Lagos in particular. We have directed all our state administrators, what we call state coordinators, to open enrollment centers Saturday and strictly to enroll JAM applicants.
Now that the situation is chaotic, what is the Commission doing to ensure that it's seamless?
Yes, what we are doing is to ensure the available equipment we have and personnel, we rationalize it and extend our working hours. That's why we're extending the working hours. But truly and sincerely, the most lasting solution is the solution that the leadership of the organization under Engineer Aliyu Aziz embraced, wherein private and public sector are invited to also participate in the data capture, just so that the data capturing exercise is decentralized. When we did our numbers, we appreciated that about 10 million Nigerians will be enrolled into the National Identity Database under this exercise that is focused at enrolling 2 million for the examiners, for the students that will be sitting for exams. We also did our numbers based on the fact that parents will come in with their kids and those wards that are under 16. And when we did our numbers, we will have between plusing the 2 million applicants and their parents and siblings, we'll get about 8 million. And with that 8 million, we also, like I mentioned, have collaboration with the Nigerian Immigration Services, wherein we are leaving about 2 million Nigerians who will want to renew their traveling document passport. So you are looking at a total of 10 million. To have 10 million in a very short time, the capacity at NIMC cannot deliver on that. That's why we have actually appealed to government to intervene, wherein special fund will be available to be able to pay off the few Nigerians that we have selected after rigorous selection process in the EOI that will just open to recruit Nigerians who understand how to capture data, just so that this massive concentration is decentralized at NIMC centers.
Now, does the Commission have enough facilities at the state and local government to take care of this process?
Yes, excellent question. We are present in over 1,000 locations all over the country. And that 1,000 is grossly inadequate. We will require between 4,000 and 5,000 locations to deliver effectively, and that's why that's why you are seeing the crowd. So, but we because of that, it is expected that we will stretch ourselves. But to effectively address this matter, we require special funding that will not necessarily have to come to NIMC, but be available to be assessed by particularly those 3 organizations that we selected now. They have the capacity, we have tested them, and they will be paid for those services from the kind of support we are asking government to intervene.
Okay,
so to say whether we have this facility, yes, we have, but it will not be able to deliver effectively and to the satisfaction of Nigeria because it's inadequate. We are talking about 1,000 locations.
Okay, Mr. Umar. There are allegations that there's some form of racketeering and exploitation. What is the Commission doing about this?
Yes, excellent question. You know, where you have scarcity, there will be need for undercurrent and under-table activities. So we will not sit at NIMC and rule out those possibilities. But what is NIMC doing? We have invited the security agencies to assist in arresting individuals that are engaged in this exercise. I am happy to tell our viewers that as a management, we actually reviewed cases that came to us at the disciplinary committee, wherein about 5 people have been expelled and their employments have been terminated because we had incontrovertible evidences indicating that they were involved in undercurrents and under-table activities like you mentioned.
Okay,
but this is a global national issue that most often than not, you find, like you said, racketeering. Some staff are involved, but to a very large extent, the NIMC staff are not necessarily directly involved, but Nigerians cash on the scarcity and create those bottlenecks to extort and exploit other Nigerians, unfortunately.
Okay, thank you very much, Mr. Umar. But one last question before I let you go. What is the plan to take care of prospective candidates that may miss the registration now?
Our expectation, based on the plans we have, is to be able to enroll all the applicants by God's willing. But the services we render is essentially for life. Our enrollment centers will be open for life. In other words, most of our enrollment centers will still exist. So even after this exercise, people can enroll. But we are not envisaging leaving anyone untouched. That's why we actually crafted several strategies of ensuring that all those who come to our centers are enrolled immediately.
Well, thank you very much, Abdul Hamid Umar. Thank you very much for joining us on NTA International.
Thank you very much.
Well, that was the General Manager Operations National Identity Management Commission, Abdul Hamid Umar, on the current situation on NIN registration. Now, this is the news on NTA International reaching you from Abuja. Stay tuned for more news after this time out.
Your information dey important, just like your identity. Now, the only way we fit take hala you, make you go browse easy.gotvafrica.com. Sign in with your IUC number and mobile number and scroll down to personal details and address. Then check well to see say everything bam. You fit change the one wey not correct. To finish everything, just click the save button and it don't finish.
Thank you. I make sure say my phone number dey correct. That's not why GoTV fit call me make I come collect my own awoof.
Angel, time for my phone in that way because now my correct phone number dey for book.
GoTV, live it, love it.
Not look me again, no. Make you go do your own.
And thank you very much for staying with us. In line with the All Progressive agenda of revitalizing the economy through employment generation, the legislators representing Ankpa, Omala and Olamaboro Federal Constituency, Abdullahi Ibrahim, has empowered more than 1,000 people in his constituency with different empowerment facilities.
One of the agenda of the President Muhammad Buhari APC-led administration is the development of the economy with specific attention to reduction of unemployment rate through job creations. This is exactly what some members of the party have keyed into, as demonstrated by the member representing the Ankpa, Omala and Olamaboro constituency in Kogi State, Abdullahi Ibrahim, who is in the House of Representatives. Understanding what the needs of his people are and committed to improving their economic status, he procured different items including sewing machines, grinding machines, vulcanizing machines, tricycles and motorcycles for more than 1,000 constituents in all the 34 wards of the federal constituency.
I stand God to deliver on my campaign promise of economic empowerment for the people of my federal constituency. The multiplier effect of what is taking place here cannot be quantified with all sense of responsibility. I will say this is just the beginning of many more good things to come. All I desire from you is your cooperation and support.
The Deputy Governor of Kogi State, Edward Onoja, who stood in for the governor at the event, and host of others commended the legislator for positive representation.
You are a great people. You have potential. You can do great things. But you can only achieve this if you become your brother's keeper rather than your brother's killer. Love, unity, togetherness is the solution to Ankpa problem.
Without equivocation, this is the first time we are experiencing this magnitude of empowerment in Ankpa Federal Constituency.
Beneficiaries of the facilities who before now lacked means of livelihood appreciated their representative for the gesture.
How you feel? I'm very, very happy. What do you have? I will continue to support Honorable Alims.
Austin Anyebe, NTA News.
Airstrikes being conducted by the Air Task Force of Operation Lafia Dole as part of the ongoing Operation Rattlesnake 2 have continued to yield results. The latest of these is the destruction of portions of an Islamic State of West Africa province ISWAP tactical headquarters and neutralization of some of their fighters at Kolaram on the fringes of the Lake Chad in Borno State. In a statement by NAV Director Public Relations and Information Air Commodore Ibikunle Daramola, the operation was executed in 2 waves of attacks carried out on the 4th and 5th January 2020 following successive days of intelligence missions which led to the identification of compounds within the settlement where the terrorist leaders were housed. Subsequently, the Air Task Force detailed fighter aircraft to attack the identified hideouts in different parts of the settlement, destroying the structures and killing several terrorists, including a few that were spotted near a cluster of buildings at the northern edge of the location. The NAF says it will sustain its air campaign in synergy with ground forces to shape the battle space in the northeast for the effective conduct of further ground and air operations. Moving on now to other news. Brexit gets autonomy following approval of Britain's parliament. Details of these and other stories and foreign news with Uche Ugochukwu.
Hello there. Britain's parliament has approved Brexit, allowing it to become the first country to leave European Union by the end of January. ending years of arguments that toppled two governments and divided a nation. The House of Commons erupted in cheers after members of Parliament ratified Prime Minister Boris Johnson's divorce deal with Brussels' 330 votes to 231, drawing a line under an extraordinary era of political drama and chaos. The U.S. House of Representatives has approved a symbolic resolution seeking to limit President Donald Trump's ability to declare war on Iran. The measure passed the Democratic-run chamber 224 against 194, but faces an uphill climb in the Republican-held Senate. It aims to mandate congressional approval for any conflict with Iran, except in cases of an imminent attack against the U.S. Still on parliamentary matters, the Ethiopian parliament has passed a law to regulate gun ownership to curb increased regional ethnic violence. The new law requires that each region outlines the legal age that one can acquire a gun and also limits the number of guns an individual can have. Defaulters will be sentenced to 3 years in prison, and arms traffickers would face prison terms of 8 to 20 years. And on the Ukraine air crash, Western leaders say evidence suggests an Iranian missile brought down the passenger plane that crashed near Tehran, possibly in error. Iran's civil aviation chief, however, said he was certain that the plane was not hit by a missile. That's it from here. Thanks for being a part of it. I am Uche Ugochukwu.
President Muhammadu Buhari has felicitated with the chairman Eleganza Group of Companies Chief Razak Akani Okoya, CON, on his 80th birthday, congratulating him for resourcefulness in building a national brand that has long gone beyond the borders. The president, in a statement by the senior special assistant to the president, Garba Shehu, extends warm felicitations to him for an inspiring life journey and a vision of greatness that keeps producing outstanding results in almost all facets of the economy, and wishes him more years in good health. Meanwhile, President Buhari also felicitated with Christiana Din at her 80th birthday anniversary. He joins family, friends and well-wishers in celebrating God's faithfulness in the life of the wife of the chairman, Plateau State All Progressives Congress APC Elders Advisory Council, Captain Joseph Dean. The president thanks Mrs. Dean for being an important part of the success story of the Dean dynasty and promoting at home and beyond the values of hard work, good character and integrity. And now a quick check on Saturday's weather prospect for Nigeria and some cities of the world. And weather report there ends the news on NTA International. Thank you very much for watching. My name is Justin Bemuyi.
You can watch NTA International live on your TV, computer, iPad, tablet and phone. Log on to visiontv.co.uk and click on Entertainment, then NTAI. You can also download the iOS or Android app on your mobile devices to watch NTA International on the go, anywhere in the world. NTA International, your window to the world.